Hello and welcome back everyone to our 9-month Ultimate World Cruise Adventure. And today we're at one of the most beautiful and amazing sites in the entire world, Mount Fuji, Japan.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we're living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month Ultimate World Cruise on Serenade of the Seas.
Well, we sure are. And friends, today we have one goal, and that is to see Mount Fuji. We booked a tour that's taking us on a bus out to Mount Fuji. It was taking us to the World Cultural Center there. And Mount Fuji did not disappoint us.
No.
She showed her face today, which was really nice because our tour guide even said they had not seen Mount Fuji in days due to the clouds. And it was a little hazy, but we got spectacular views.
Yeah, our guide was Fufuko, and she was really wonderful, just funny and energetic, and just made the trip very enjoyable. But like she said, this is actually kind of the rainy season there, and this transition from winter to spring. And she said that she kept saying it over and over and was just stunned. She's like, I can't believe we're having a day like today. Because the day before was raining.
You're so lucky. She told us that probably 15 times.
Yeah,
You're so lucky.
Yeah. So you'll get to see the pictures of our luck here very soon. We got to the Mount Fuji World Heritage Center, World Cultural Center, and the building is gorgeous. It's done like an upside down Mount Fuji.
It is. It's very pretty and very interesting even on the inside as you're walking up to some of the observation views. They had a little theater. They had areas where you could, kind of interactive screens that you could see kind of the history over the millions of years that it's taken for Mount Fuji to develop.
Right, and then also the cultural things that Mount Fuji's involved with, where they talked about the pilgrimages and the development of religion and the development of the population, and how important Mount Fuji has been to the Japanese people through their entire history. And it was a good display. And as you can see, the cultural center is, like as we said, shaped like an upside down Mount Fuji. So it's a spiral that you walk up inside that cone up to the top. And when you get to the top, again, it does not disappoint. There's a viewing center at the very top that just gives you a spectacular view of Mount Fuji. And so we took about 1,000 pictures.
I think so.
could not get over that view, and we just stood up there and stared, and it truly is majestic. It's almost artificial. It's just such a beautifully formed volcano.
And the cherry blossom trees, they're getting kind of past their peak, but we still found a few trees that had a good number of blossoms, and we were kind of able to frame Mount Fuji with those cherry blossom trees, and that's just beautiful.
Yeah, so then after we left the cultural center, we walked almost just right across the parking lot, and that's where the Fujisan shrine is, and it is the main shrine for Mount Fuji here in this area. And again, did not disappoint. We walked around the cherry blossoms. There's a river running through there, a little bridge. And honestly, what we did is we just found a bench by the river and just enjoyed that view of Mount Fuji and relaxed, and we just kept looking at each other and saying, we're in Japan looking at Mount Fuji.
I cannot believe it.
And we feel so blessed, and just sat there and took in the view. And sometimes that's what you need to do. It's not all about running to site and tourist area. It was just about taking in that view today. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. So we were up there between the shrine and the cultural center for, I think, about an hour and a half, about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And then we got on the bus and we headed back to the port. I mean, that was the big thing we did. But along the way, our Fufuko, she had some fun with us and taught us a Mount Fuji children's song. So we'll apologize for my singing here. 四方の山してカメラへ様を下に来る Well, really sorry about how bad my singing is, but it's fun and in trying to learn someone else's language and culture, and through song and what the children learn is often quite a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
So, well, we arrived back at the port. And now it's lunchtime, so we decided we would go and find some lunch. Well, there's two large shopping areas right near the
Right
port.
there.
It's actually a very nice
within
port.
5-minute walking distance
Yep.
there.
And they have several sushi restaurants, and your favorite food in the world.
It's sushi, yes.
That's right. We're getting closer to our end of our Japanese legs here of our world cruise, so we stopped and had some sushi, and it didn't disappoint either.
No,
We
it
sat
was quite
right
good.
at the sushi counter with the sushi master, and he took our order right there and asked us what we wanted, and we kind of put it in their hands and said, we got the variety from the sushi master, and he again didn't disappoint. Very, very good. Very good sushi. Yeah.
And after that, then we did just a little bit of shopping.
Mm-hmm.
There happened to be a store called Uniqlo, and one of our friends who had a family that lived here in Japan had visited this store and had talked about it several times about how good it was. So we went into it, and I actually found 2 dresses to wear to the dining room. So I was very happy about that.
Yeah, all the Uniqlo items are, I think of it kind of like Under Armour. It's all kind of, tech and breathable stuff, but then they go beyond that.
They do
It's
go
kind
beyond.
of, maybe it's a combination of Under Armour and Old Navy. It's kind
I
of
would
those
say,
two things.
yes,
Yeah.
the women's clothing was really more like Old Navy.
Right. But they had some nice stuff, and the one thing though, remember they are Japanese sizes, and so a bigger guy like me, you're gonna need like a 2X in their sizes, and the problem is they only carry up to an extra large, so you'd have to order ahead. Now, if we'd have known that there was a Uniqlo in this area, we could have actually ordered on the internet, and they would have had it waiting, and we could have picked it up. But good shop if you want to go. Be sure to check that out when you're in Japan. Well, then we left the shopping area and left lunch, and right there at the port, they had a Ferris wheel.
They did, and so we decided to go on it.
Yeah.
We had little time.
It took about 15 minutes to go around, and it was $6, I think, something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it never
Yeah.
stopped. So it
Yeah.
just was a continuous Ferris wheel, and so you just got on the moving carts, and
Yeah.
a lot of bars inside.
Yeah, I know.
We were very well protected.
I know, yeah. Sorry for some of the pictures here, but it was right over our ship. We looked right down, and there's our ship right there, and it was a lot of fun, and we got some good views, and just enjoyed it as we're relaxing. But we had an early all aboard. It was at 3:30, so as soon as our Ferris wheel ride was done, we had to head back over to the ship and get ready for our next day. And I'm really excited for this one.
Tell them what our next day is, Mike.
Osaka, Japan, the one of, if not the food capital of the world. I mean, Osaka is called the stomach of Japan, and it did not disappoint at all. We ate everything in Osaka. We ate our way through Osaka. Wait till you see this one.
We did.
It was unbelievable, the food and the sights and the streets. So we can't wait to show you Osaka next time.
Well, Mike, would you go back to Mount Fuji?
I would, and this would very easily be a place where you would say, oh, been there, done that. Yep, I've seen Mount Fuji. I've actually seen it twice now. I was on a business trip to Japan, and I took the bullet train specifically to get a view of Mount Fuji, and so I shot by it on the train and shot back to Tokyo. It was much better this time sitting at the shrine and absorbing the view there. But there's many other ways to see Mount Fuji, and we had friends that went to neighboring volcanoes and took other trips, and there's many other things in this area to see. Plus, you want to climb Mount Fuji.
I don't.
Our guide, Fukuko, she said there's an old saying. She says the wise man climbs Mount Fuji once, only the fool does it twice. But there is a trail, and there's a climbing season, and I believe it was it June to September, I believe is what they said, when the snow is melted, and but it would be quite a trek to go up there. But no, for me, I would come back to this area to see Mount Fuji and see some of the other sites around here. What about you?
I absolutely would as well. And it's so pretty that we've been here in the spring. when the cherry blossoms have been in bloom, because I just think that's been spectacular. Although, if we came back in the spring, chances are we might not get to see it.
Yeah,
So.
they're only about a week that the cherry blossoms.
Well, I meant
you
that
know,
we might
the-
not get to see Mount Fuji
Oh,
because
yeah.
of all the rain.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it could be clouded over, and you just never know, and that could happen any time during the year,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
Alrighty, friends. Well, stay tuned for Osaka. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we will be back very soon. You'll get to see all that good food we got to eat. All right, have a beautiful day. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.